YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. It's Miss Rebecca Dina here. Hope you are doing well today. So today I am back to show you my updates of the laser tattoo removal and just to show you how they are looking after my last session, which was my 9th session of laser tattoo removal. I thought I would do a quick kind of Q&A at the end of the video, just of all of the frequently asked questions when it comes to laser tattoo removal. I watched all of my laser videos and skimmed through the comments just to check which comments were mostly asked, and I just took a note of them. And yeah, so I'm just going to answer some questions, and I kind of thought to myself, what would I like to know as a viewer in terms of this whole process. So it's going to be quick, easy, straight to the point. I know for me, when I was first starting the laser tattoo removal process, I think I watched basically every single YouTube video that is on YouTube on laser tattoo removal, and I only found maybe a handful of people that were a bit helpful. So I want to make sure that the videos I'm making are really helping you, because it is a very tough process. It's a very hard thing mentally as well to go through. So unless you actually go through the tattoo removal process, you really cannot relate. It's a whole mental, emotional, spiritual process as well as physical pain. So it's a very tough thing to go through. So unless you're going through it like we all are going through it together, it's very tough for people to relate to it. I want to first show you the tattoos and how they're looking, okay? I'm filming it this way up just because it's quicker and it's easier. So I'm right in front of the window, so I hope you can see. But this is how they're looking. So these two are probably the ones that are fading the most and the quickest. So if you go back to my old video, guys, you will see how dark these were. They were so black and so heavy with ink, and they were very raised as well. As I skim my hands over it, it's really smooth now, except for here, which is a bit thick. I don't know if you can see here, but it's fading a lot, guys. But it's still a lot more to go through. I'd say I'm about halfway through the tattoo removal process, but just so you can see. And if you go back to the older videos, you can really see how much this has lightened, guys. It's kind of crazy. Can you see the lines there? Like, it's insane. A lot of the lines have disappeared. They're still fading. Here's still quite dark, but the rose has really, I don't know, something else. If you go back again to the older videos, you will be able to see that the red in the rose petals was bright red, and the red has completely gone. There's no more red in this tattoo. It's basically my skin peeking through. So it gives me hope. It really does give me hope. It's the black ink that is the most stubborn, as you can tell, and the green ink is still there, kind of, but the red ink, it's practically all gone. All in here used to be red, so I wish the black ink would hurry it up a bit, you know. It's not as quick as the red ink, but that's how they're looking, guys. And this is the rose. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. I'll maybe do a different angle, but this is the rose. Again, these two have lightened a lot more than the other two, okay? I believe it's because it's closer to the heart and the circulation and the blood flow. So the closer the tattoo is to the heart, the quicker the removal process, okay? That's what my technician told me. Ignore this scar. But yeah, and this one I'll flip the camera so you can see. The mermaid, not as I don't know, lightened as I would like, as I would hope. I'm a bit disappointed with the mermaid, but to be honest with you, I think it's because I'm looking at myself all the time, and I'm sure lots of you can relate to that. It's very hard to see your own process, even though I have taken a lot of pictures and I do have these videos to look back on. For some reason, I'm just with this one, it's quite hard to see the difference for me. Although it has lightened a lot. You know, it used to be jet black, and now it's kind of like a dark gray. So I think the ink on this one is just a bit more stubborn. But yeah, that's how they are looking. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is after the 9th session. They've healed. I don't really expect them to get any lighter than they are. I haven't yet booked my 10th session. I think I will go back maybe in a month or two to go to my 10th session. I do think, guys, it will take me in total probably 17 sessions, I'm not gonna lie to you, for them to be completely gone. So if you were in the same position as me and your tattoos were as dark as mine, just to give you a kind of ballpark, probably about 16, 17 sessions. When I first started, they told me between 8 and 12 sessions, which I just don't really think is realistic for my tattoos. Obviously it depends on your tattoos and, you know, where they are and how dark they are and how old they are. But personally, yeah. What do you think, guys? Let me know. Let me know what you think. This section here is the lightest. And I'm really amazed that the red is gone, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm hoping with the 10th session I'll really see a dramatic change. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So moving on to the Q&A, I have gathered some questions that I think would help you just to know, and you can always come back to this video. This will kind of be the main video to go to if you are a newbie, if you kind of just want all of the information in one video. It is for you, okay? The first question is, what laser do you use? I use the Pico laser. The Pico laser, okay? So they use the Pico on my tattoos. I believe they either use the Pico Way or the Pico Sheer on the red. They use a different laser on the red ink anyway, but I use the Pico, okay? I don't use the Q switch or the Nano, any of those other lasers. I've never tried them. From my research, it does say that they're not as effective, so I think maybe just to do your own research there. But for me, I use the Pico. How many sessions have you had? So this will be my 9th session in total. I will call the clinic probably this week or next week to book another session, probably for about next month or the following month, probably 2 months time, I'll say. How long have you been doing the process? So if you go back to my very first tattoo removal video, I think that was maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Actually, I think 3 years ago now. I had my first session and the pain was unbearable that I actually stopped for 1 year. I was very, very afraid to go back. And I told myself, I'm just gonna live with these tattoos because I cannot deal with that pain. It's crazy, it's unbearable. So I didn't go back to the clinic for 1 year. So after the 1 year, I went back and I was more consistent. So in total 3 years, but consistently going to the sessions, it's been 2 years, okay? Why are you removing the tattoos? So I'm removing the tattoos because I got them when I was very young. I was 18. And you think you know who you are when you're 18 years old. and you think the person that you are when you're 18 is the person you will be forever, and that is not true. That is not true whatsoever. I got them for the wrong reasons, guys, definitely the wrong reasons. And the funny thing is, I love tattoos. Like, I really love tattoos. I love them on other people. I'm a very creative person, so any form of creativity or art, artistic outlets, I love, but just not on me. I think, God makes your body, perfect the way it is. So now that I'm older, I see that. But when you're 18, you kind of go through an identity crisis, well, in my opinion anyway. I grew up in a very, very small town in Ireland, small village, and I moved to London by myself at 18, and it was kind of like I was thrown in at the deep end. I was trying to find myself, trying to discover what I like, what I don't like, trying to find who I am, experimenting with many, many different things, piercings, dyeing my hair all the time, cutting my hair, tattoos. So, it's definitely been a journey, a process, and now that I'm 24, I more or less know who I am at this stage of my life, and we're always growing, we're always evolving, so we're never the same person as we are last year. We're always growing into someone better. So the person that I was at 18 is not the person that I am today, or even at 19, 20, even last year. I'm always changing. So yeah, that's the reason why. Basically, they're just not really me, but it's a part of my journey, part of the process, and you just have to think of it like that as well. You really, really do. You have to change your mindset to think that everyone makes mistakes. Yes, a tattoo is a big mistake. I don't even like to call it a mistake, to be honest with you, because for whatever reason, it's a part of my journey. I made that decision for a reason, and I was at the time meant to get a tattoo, meant to get these tattoos for whatever reason. And maybe if I didn't get the tattoos, I wouldn't have maybe had the awakenings that I've had in my life to find out who I really am, or haven't met people that have come and gone, or experienced life in a different way. So I like to think of it like that now, even though I do have my days. Why did you get the tattoos? I've kind of just covered that, but more or less an identity crisis, I would say. I know that sounds crazy, but if any of you can relate, let me know, because it was definitely an identity thing for me. I know lots of people do it for different reasons, but I was just doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was trying to fit in with a certain type of cred that is really not me. I was trying to portray someone that I'm not. I was trying to be someone that I'm not. And yeah, that's basically it. It all comes down to identity and not really knowing who you are at 18, which a lot of us can relate to. So number 6, what is the price? The price obviously will differ depending on your tattoo, the size of your tattoo, the location of your tattoo, and actually where you live in the world. Probably in most cities it's more expensive, but all I'll say is it's expensive. It's not cheap, okay? It is not cheap. It is very expensive, and so think twice before you get a tattoo, okay? What clinic are you going to? I'm going to Pulse Light Clinic in London. It's okay. Yeah, it's been going okay. I can't really fault it. The only thing is, I do have different technicians each time I go in, and I find, obviously each technician has their own way of doing things. Some are more empathetic than others. Some are more, kinder than others, I should say. Some have, different ways of doing things and different personalities, which is fine. But I would prefer, to have one specific technician each time I go in, but it's not the way it works, unfortunately. But yeah, I do find sometimes I do have different results with different technicians, so it's a bit strange, but yeah, that's the way it works, unfortunately. To deal with tattoo regrets. Guys, it's a journey on another level, and only if you're going through this process can you relate to me, because if you're not going through this, no one can really understand the journey that it is. It's a mental thing. It really is. Forget about the pain, forget about the tattoos for a minute. Mentally, it's a battle. It really is. Some days you're up here, you're fine, you're happy, you don't really care that they're there, you know, you kind of forget about them. You feel 100% confident, you don't care what people think about you. Then other days you're like, I want to be completely covered up. It's up, down, up, down. Take each day as it comes. And if anything, through this process, it has taught me to love myself more. It really has. It has taught me to be kinder to myself and to understand that I'm only human. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect. I could have done a lot worse than tattoos, in all honesty, and the same with you. You have to have a routine. You have to work on yourself, on the other aspects of yourself. So while you're going through this process, work on your body physically. By that, I mean going to the gym, getting your body physically to where you want it to be. Because when your tattoos go, then you'll have the body of your dreams. I used to say to myself, there's no point, you know, working on my body when I have these tattoos. Like, I don't like the way my body looks right now, so why would I even bother going to the gym? But you have to change your mindset. So I've changed my mindset to think that while I'm going through this process, I'm going to build my character even more. I'm going to grow even more spiritually. I'm going to grow even more physically, get my body to where I want it to be, so it's looking, you know, I'm 100% happy with the way it looks, so that when the time comes that these tattoos are gone, I have, you know, worked on every other aspect of myself instead of waiting for these tattoos to go and then working on yourself. It has really been a confidence push and pull, you know. Some days you're more confident than others. Some days you want to wear shorter sleeves than others. It just depends on where you are that day. No one's confidence level is up here all the time. That would just be unnatural. It's just not, you know, it's not realistic. You're gonna have days where it fluctuates, and you just have to roll with it. You really have to roll with it, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. And I find not comparing yourself to others really does help. And yeah, just focus on yourself, focus on your own goals every single day. Don't look at other people, because other people behind closed doors have a lot going on themselves. So don't compare yourself to other people. Everyone is going through something, okay? We're going through this tattoo journey. Other people are going through a lot worse, you know? So we have to think of it like that. Everyone is going through their own problems, okay? What is the pain like? Oh, it's just a wonderful walk in the park. It's just the best feeling in the world. It's amazing. I just love it. I just love going to these sessions every single month. I just love it. The pain is terrible. It's terrible. I don't know what other way to tell you. I'm a very blunt and open and honest person. It's terrible. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park, okay? I actually think getting tattoos is not painful. I did not find the process painful at all, and some people find it excruciating. Obviously, it does depend on where the tattoos are, but I didn't find it painful at all, to be honest with you. But the laser tattoo removal, on the other hand, is next level. A lot of the research that I did, they described the pain as like an elastic band. You're like pulling the elastic band and it hits you, and it's that kind of pinching sensation. I don't know where they got that description from, because it's definitely not like that. It's 10 times worse. They make it sound like easy peasy, but it's tough, guys. It's tough. Number 11, what is your aftercare routine? Okay, so my aftercare routine, I go to the session, I spend about an hour in the session, I come home, I try to not do as much when I come home. I make sure I wash my hair and everything the day before. I get my food shopping the day before. If I can, I'll prepare some food the day before, because it's a real shock to your body, the tattoo removal process. It's a lot of pain for your body to withstand, for your body to go through. It's a lot on your immune system. So I try to really take it easy the day of. I come home, I might get myself a coffee or something, treat myself. I'll come home, and if the plastic wrap hasn't come off yet, I'll leave it on until probably the evening, and then I take the plastic wrap off. They do recommend for you to leave it on for, I think, 48 hours. So obviously listen to your technician. I'm not a technician, but I'm just telling you what I do. I don't like the feeling of it rubbing up against my skin. It really irritates me, and I just don't think it's hygienic, because a lot of things get stuck in the plastic wrap, like dirt and dust gets trapped. So that's just the way I think of it. The following day, I'll have my shower, and I will not touch the areas with soap. I'll wash the rest of my body, but I will maybe splash some cold water on them, but I do not touch them. And I don't put any cream, nothing on them for the first few days, okay, for the first 2 to 3 days. I let them breathe. I try to wear loose things that are flowy, that don't really touch the tattoos, just to let them breathe. I will leave all the windows open in the flat, so I'm getting air in. If I can, I will go for a walk, just to get some air at them, okay? And on the second or third day, I will start applying Vaseline and bio oil, and just massaging. You want to make sure that after your tattoo removal process, if you don't have severe blisters, that is, you are massaging your tattoos. Apparently this makes a massive difference. So yeah, you want to make sure you're massaging them every day for a few minutes, and massaging upwards, 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 okay? Blisters and how to deal with them. Oh, I don't know if any of you have watched one of the older videos where I inserted some footage of the blisters that I had at one point. Oh, they were on another level. They were crazy. They were crazy. They were like the size of like a golf ball. It was disgusting. Thankfully, now I don't really get blisters. It was only on my first few sessions that I was getting blisters. And that the other clinic I was going to before Pulse, that I tried going for a few sessions, his laser was just, I don't know what it was, but it was next level. It was worse than the pain that I'm going through now. It was stronger, and I seem to get a lot of blisters with him. I actually still have a bit of pigmentation from the blisters, from the guy that I went to for a few sessions just to try a different clinic. Can you see that? I still have pigmentation, guys, so I'm hoping this goes away. But yeah, how to deal with them, sorry. So just don't touch them, do not pop them, because apparently they do scar if you pop the blisters. So you want to try to not touch them. Maybe try and book a few days off work if you can, if you don't work at home. Thankfully, I was working at home, so it was okay, but if you don't, then definitely book time off work, because there was no way I would have been able to get on public transport or any of that. So just a tip. How long to wait between sessions? So they advise 6 to 8 weeks. I usually wait about 8 weeks, sometimes even more, depending on, you know, my schedule, what I'm doing, if I'm traveling, just depending on where I am. But usually it's 8 weeks. I will very, very rarely, I don't think I've ever gone before 8 weeks, but obviously it's up to you. But I think the longer you wait, the better, okay? question number 17 is advice you would give to anyone thinking about tattoos. Advice that I would give is make sure you are doing it for the right reasons. A lot of the times we say, oh, it's for, expression and all of that, but really it's a whole other reason. And you just have to dig deep and you have to really ask yourself, why do I want this tattoo? Is it to fit in with a certain type of crowd? Is it to stand out? Is it to look a type of way that I'm not? You just have to have that conversation with yourself. You really, really do. And I would maybe, if you really, really want a tattoo, I would wait a year and ask yourself in a year's time if you still want that tattoo. Don't be like me, don't be impulsive. I'm a very impulsive person sometimes. I like to change my look. I like to be creative with my, look sometimes, and I can be very impulsive. So make sure you just think for about a year. Then go back to it, and if you still want it, it's up to you. People are going to do what they want to do anyway, Like my mom told me not to do it. She said, don't get a tattoo, don't do it. I didn't listen. When you're that age, you just don't listen to people. You're going through some things. You're going through it mentally. Like, you're just going through it, all the hormones. So if you have a child as well and they're thinking about tattoos, unfortunately, you cannot force them. You can only give your honest advice. You can only give your input. But at the end of the day, people need to make their own decisions. People need to make their own mistakes. It's the only way you learn in life is to make mistakes, honestly. So, people are going to do what they want to do, unfortunately. So I think that's the best way to learn as well, in some ways, So just give the advice that you can give, and that's all you can do. Any advice you would give to someone going through the removal process? Just be kind to yourself, okay? Now is the time to practice self-love. Now more than ever, you're putting your body through a lot of pain, and your body is being there for you. Your body is, holding it down for you. Your body is, going through a lot for you. So you have to be kind to it, and you have to treat yourself with love, and don't care what people think of you. I think a lot of times with this tattoo removal process, we care too much about what other people think. And if anything, someone may think of you or have an opinion on you maybe for about 5 to 10 seconds, but after that, they're on to someone else. They're on to judging someone else. They're on to focusing on their own life and going through their own problems. So don't think that everyone is, judging you and caring about what you have on your arms, because no one actually is. It's just all in here. So you just have to love yourself and practice self-love. I'm telling you, this is a spiritual journey more than anything, and you have to be kind to yourself and love yourself and treat yourself with kindness and with love. And no one is perfect. Develop your character, because that's actually what people care about more than ever, is your character. Okay, so yeah, that's all the questions. That's all the questions. This is a long video. I know this is a very long video, but this is all the information in one. So if you see someone in the comments and I haven't replied to them yet and they're asking for a question or anything, just guide them to this video, please. And if you have any other questions on tattoo removal, please let me know in the comments. I want to help as much as possible. I think it's good that there's a lot of people in this together. I didn't even know that there would be so many people going through this like me. So it's great to know that we're all in this together and we're all going through the same thing emotionally, and I don't think anyone else could relate to what we're going through. It's a whole other thing. So keep going, guys. Keep strong. We can do this. We can do this, okay? Live your life. Continue living your best life. Don't let this get to you. You can do this, okay? believe in yourself. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I'm really putting myself out here on the World Wide Web with these tattoos, so I would really appreciate if I got your love and support, and I really appreciate all the lovely comments. They mean a lot to me and they really do encourage me as well. So yeah, thank you so much guys, and keep being you, keep doing you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Mwah.